An organization of women voters come together tonight to help people learn more about the August and November ballots. The League of Women Voters of Southwest Missouri is a nonpartisan organization dedicated to promoting voter education and advocacy. They hosted an event called Know Your Ballot to help people better understand the importance of what you need to know before voting.
What we're trying to do here tonight is have people who are going to be impacted by these issues use plain language. Like, this is how a sales tax increase would impact me. This is how taking away our ballot, the use of the ballot initiative would impact me.
Well, this is hopefully going to equip everybody with the information they need and also get really clear about what their stakes are in these issues, because each and every single one of these ballot measures that we're talking about tonight will directly impact the people of Southwest Missouri.
Missouri's primary election is August 4th, where voters will decide party nominees in federal, state, and county races, which will set up the matchups for November's general election.